Hi guys, it's Typical Cycle Repair. Today we're going to be working on the rear end of this CR250 build. Alright, so I'm also changing out this top bearing here. This is the only place I had play in the linkage. You can see the clip inside of there. So what you got to do is push this a little bit down so you can get the clip out. And so I'm using a 17 millimeter because the 17 millimeter fits in here. Alright, so the 17 here, this is an S&K 17 if it matters. It fits right inside there. See that? And it clears the clip. So I'm going to put this in the vise on one side, and the other side I'm just using a large socket just to catch everything and to support the top of the shock. And I'm just going to push it a little bit, take the clip out, and then flip everything around and push it through the other way. Alright guys, so working on the tail end here, we got to replace all these bearings in here. I've already done this one. This was the lower shock. And I did that. That came with the shock bearing kit. So now we're going to do these here. I have the all balls kit. This is the linkage, shock and linkage kit. Okay, so I'm going to be using this. This will have everything in there, including these. But like I said, I don't need that. So let's start by pulling these off here. And we're going to push these through the same way that we did the shock stuff in using the vise. So just pull out all this old garbage here. And I'm going to kind of put it here so that I can match up what we have in the kit. I'm not sure exactly which ones are for which. So just by doing one at a time, you're not going to get that confused. Alright, so there's our two seals and our two spacers. So let's get those. Looks good. Alright, so there's our two old ones, and these are two new seals here. Now we got to push out these bearings in here. Alright, we got a washer right there we got to take out also. The kit also comes with these washers. Alright, right here. There's our two washers. Comes with the center spacer also that we're going to push out. Alright, there it is. Alright, so there's our two washers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this center out right here. So on this bearing here, on this side, alright, here you can see the bearing edge. Okay, see the bearing edge right there? On this side, it's gone. It is wore. It looks like it wore completely through right there. These little jagged pieces on the edge, so we're going to push these out and replace them all. Alright, so I got a 3/4 inch socket in here. I'm pushing it through. I'm just going to push both of them all the way through. Alright, so now we're bottomed out. You can see how that bearing is messed up right there. So now I'm going to go ahead and get a socket for this side and start pushing them all the way through. Okay, now I got a socket here just to catch the bearings when I push them out. There's one. All right, and there's the other one. So when we're pushing these in, we're going to push one in from one side, one in from the other side, and you use the washer to base it out so that when you push it in, you only push it into the washer right here. You can use the washer, and when you're pushing them in, you just push them in using that washer, and it'll push them all the way just as far as they need to go in. So let's start putting the new ones in. So here's the new bearing here. I'm going to use some grease and just make sure it's well and greased. On the inside as well on the outside, because we're going to be sliding them in. Alright, so now we got that all set right there. I'm pressing these in. Okay, so there's a kind of a curved side here, and then there's a flat side here. You want the flat side out and the curved side in. That'll help it move into the position properly here. So we're just going to start out with it nice and easy, getting it straight. And then these go in pretty easily. They should slide in. So I'm going to slide it in until it just hits there. I'm going to get the washer. Actually, I'm going to get the. I'm going to use the other socket first. All right, so this is the 3/4 inch socket. I'm going to push this in a little with this. I'm just going to stick the washer in there, and that'll just help me know when it's all the way in, because that'll just bottom out the washer. There we go. Alright, so that was in. I just used the washer right there. You can see the washer. Alright, so I know that it's in flush. The washer's going to go in there, and then the seal is going to go on top of that. So let me do the same for the other side here, and then we'll put the seals in. Then we got washers on both sides. Knock the new seals in. Same thing, we're just going to put a little bit of grease. Help the seal slide in on both sides. And then these seals just simply go in. They have kind of a lip on there that goes on the inside, a flat goes on the outside. Able to just push these in by hand, real simple. Okay, now we're going to find the new collar that it comes with. So here's the new collar that the kit comes with. I'm going to slide it into place. Get the two new ends here, the spacers. Going to slip right in there. Alright, we're all set. Next we're going to do is this one here. We're going to do it the exact same way. Let me get that one done and then we'll move on to the swing arm. And this roller was completely missing. This is an 8mm by 1.25 thread. Alright guys, so I'm doing the swing arm bearings now. I'm going to be pushing them out the same way I got it set up to push it. The interesting thing here and what they've changed is the factory stuff has a washer, a needle bearing, and then a washer. And what they're doing here is they're running, and this is the all balls kit, it's running these instead. So you'd run a washer, then one of these, and then a washer on top of it. There's two in here, one for each side. And then you'd sandwich those in between these washers here. Okay, and it's so it says on the package. The kit has been upgraded to use the POM coated thrust washers, which outlast a thrust needle bearing in corrosive environments. Face the yellow side out in between the supplied washers. Alright, so right here I got this set up just to get started. I'm going to push that through and start pushing the bearing out, and then I'll throw another socket on this side of it so I can get the receive it on this side. Okay, so I'm going to start pressing it. Alright, so you guys can see what's going on here. I got the 3/4 inch in there. I'm going to start pushing it in. I'm almost done. I got the washer in there now. And you'll see it come in here. Because that washer's in there, it won't let me go in too far. There you go, and that's based out right there, so let me show you what I got. Alright, so there's the socket I got in there. Alright, and then the washer. See, I just got the washer right there. Grease is holding it in, hang on. Okay, and there it is. Flush perfect. So I got to get the metal washer in there, the one with the yellow plastic on it, and then another washer on top of that, and the sleeve inside there, and that's done. Alright, and then these spacers go in the end. Alright, thick spacers right here. They go right in the end on both sides, and it's ready to go. Alright guys, so getting to this lower wishbone part, I need to push bearings in this, but when I'm pulling them out, I noticed this thing is pretty chewed up here, like it's been in a vise or something. And if you look, you can see that it's not quite round and there's a crack here. Alright, so this one is toast. So I jumped onto Thumper Talk and jumped into the CR250, the two-stroke form section, and posted up that I needed one. Because they're kind of hard when you're trying to figure them out. Some listings say that they'll fit all different years. Others say that they'll fit different years. It's kind of confusing. So I asked a quick question on there. And in Thumper Talk fashion, somebody answered up quickly. K. Gowd C. Best I can pronounce your screen name. I want to thank you, man. He sent one out to me. I got it just a couple minutes ago. Got it all cleaned up, looking fresh. I'm going to push some bearings into this. So just wanted to... Thank you, Keith. Much obliged. All right, so also something else that someone mentioned on Thumper Talk here is that when you're looking for these, there's numbers on here. See, C051. Well, the linkage that this connects to also has that same number, C051. So if you want to keep the geometry, everything on the frame and suspension the same, try to get matching numbers on that. This one is from a 2005 CRF250, and we're building a CR250. So you know. You've used the same one on different bikes, so keep that in mind. All right, same deal here. Pressing these in with a 3/4 inch socket. All right, so it's all ready to go. Collar's in here. All right, so let's go over some torque specs. 39 foot-pounds. All right, swing arm pivot bolt, 65 foot-pounds. Nice and smooth again. 39 foot-pounds here, and 39 foot-pounds here. All right, everything's on, working smooth. Time to get the shock mounted on. All right, so the upper and lower shock mounts are both 32. All right, and that's the whole back end here buttoned up. I've completely rebuilt the shock inside, new bladder in here, new seals throughout, new bumper, old new seal head. I rebuilt the seal head. So everything in here is complete. Alright guys, just about done with the rear. I got the wheel on, about to bleed the brakes out. Got everything on and torqued, looking good. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do here for the tail is bleed the brakes, and this is what the fluid looks like. Stuck it down in there, try to get most of what I can out. So I'm going to just take all that out of there. I'm going to use a hydraulic bleeder and just suck it all through here. But yeah, it's looking nasty in there. We got to get that cleaned out. So if you don't have one of these guys, they're real good to have. Hydraulic brake bleeder hooked up to an airline. You need a lot of pressure for this. So I have a commercial compressor out back, 60 gallon. So let me show you how this works here. We're just going to squeeze the trigger. Okay, and watch it. You can see it dropping in here. You ready? That's how fast it'll suck it through, and it'll bleed this line. Nasty fluid coming out, so I'm just going to keep topping it off in here. Make sure it doesn't suck this dry right here. Just keep fluid in there until it starts coming out clear on the other end. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this one. That takes care of the tail section, the tire. I put the sprocket on there. I put the, I'm using the primary drive stuff for the front and rear sprockets. Put the disc, the rotor back on. Alright, caliper. All the linkage, the rear shock, mounted the carburetor on there. So the tail section is just about done. The next video I'm going to be doing the rear subframe, the air box, get that all buttoned up, and the plastic. So stay tuned for that, guys. It's going to look good. The plastic kit's all set up already. Decals are already put on the plastic, so I'm ready to mount all that up. Hopefully you guys like this video. Stay tuned for the next one. Hit the like button. Please subscribe. And until next time, guys, this is Tepco Cycle Repair.